Here we go. Fired up. Got a wheel pressure. So far so good. Is it smoking? I don't see a bunch of smoke. We had our motor completely bled down of oil, so it'll take a little bit to get the lifters to settle down. She is running and it's not knocking, so that's pretty awesome. Let's try that again. Hit the key and see if she fires up. She's alive. She's alive. It's got a little bit of a noise. It's either a lifter tap. Actually feels like it's in the distributor rotation. I just took out a part and looked at it. There we go. So the rotor button is rubbing the cap for some reason. This obviously wasn't a new cap, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. I'll tighten that back screw up a little bit more maybe. But she is alive and no leaks. Put it back up in the air one more time just to check for leaks. Everything's dry, everything's tight, appears to be good. So, only thing left to do now is top off fluids, put the hood on, and take this thing for a test drive. I'm actually pretty excited about this truck. Even though it's just a 4.3, it's a decent little truck. Honestly, I don't think, I've never driven a Xtreme S10. I've driven a lot of S10s, owned a lot of S10s. This is the second Xtreme I've owned. The first one obviously was wrecked. That's what we're making Project LS Xtreme out of. And this one, the motor was knocking so bad I was afraid to test drive it. So yeah, this will be the first one I actually drive. Let's throw the hood back on this thing. Now it's looking like a truck again. Actually, it's looking like a truck we're about ready to drive. Actually, when I started this up and was testing stuff, the heater was not working. The blower motor wasn't working at all, which was kind of weird. I could have swore it was before, but after actually putting the hood back on, you got to hook up the wiper washer hose, but there's also a ground strap, and I forgot I had left that nut loose, and there's other grounds that hook to it. So hopefully once we tighten that up, our heater will work. One way to find out. All right, let's give this a shot. See if that fixed our heater. Actually, no, it did not. It is still not working. Definitely have to check that out. If the heat doesn't work, it means the air conditioning does not work either. Truck seems to be running good, so one last thing we're going to do, we're actually going to swap out these wheels. These tires are pretty dry ride, and this one actually goes flat. There's not much tread left on them either, so we have a nicer set of Xtreme wheels. It's the newer Xtreme, newer if you will. They're actually machine faced all the way over. across the spokes too, and they have the little bit nicer cap. So we're gonna pull these off, put these on the GMC, and I have the other Xtreme wheels on the GMC. We'll put these on, and I think we're gonna just go right ahead and swap tags over and start driving this. So hopefully everything holds together. So far it seems to be doing all right. Got up the temperature, all that kind of stuff. We're going to drive it a little bit, change the oil again, and just monitor stuff. But let's get this thing on the road. We got our better wheels and tires swapped out on it. It's looking really good. It does need a wash job, cleaned up a little bit, but I'm really liking the looks of this truck. I mean, it's pretty much stock, but it's just a nice, clean looking truck. Look a lot better once it's washed up. But I do have my tag on it too, so let's run out and get this thing transferred over. We can start driving it legally. We're all legal. We are road worthy, at least on the legal end of it. I'm very, very excited about this truck. I don't really know why. It's just a nice looking little truck. I know it's stock, but I don't know. I like it. Let's jump in this, take it for its maiden voyage. It needs some gas in it, so we'll run it down to the gas station, put some gas in. Alright, we're out on the road. Alright, so far so good. Get over on this main road, or a little bit more of a main road. Seems to handle good so far. Brakes feel decent. I'm really excited about this truck. All right, we're pulling out here. We'll be able to see our shifts a little bit better. First, second, third, and overdrive. Made all of its shifts. That's a good sign. Definitely needs a wash. It's very dusty, but even though it's dirty, it still looks good. It's going down the road, tracking nice. I can let go of the wheel. It's not pulling drastically one side or the other. These roads are they have a little bit of a pitch on them, so sometimes you do have to correct them, but we'll get straightened out here. Yeah. And you can even hit the brakes and it's not pulling. There's a tiny bit of pulsation in the steering wheel when you hit the brakes, but it was sitting around for so long. The rotors up front did get a little bit of rust buildup, so that should clean up. If not, we'll just put new rotors and pads on it. Some fresh gas in. I don't know how old this gas is. I'm guessing it's probably, I don't know, 8 months to a year old. So we are low on fuel, so we'll fill it up with some good gas, and that should definitely help things. Never a good idea to really thrash on them with unknown gas that's been sitting around. So we'll just wait until we get some gas and see how it runs in. Not bad at all, especially for sitting that long. The belt squeak is a little bit annoying. I don't know if you can hear that or not. The serpentine belt's got a little chirp to it that I can't stand it. We'll get that addressed. Okay, so that was a bad idea. We don't really have any wiper blades at all on there. They're pretty much dry ride, so yeah, shouldn't have did that. A few miles into our journey now, and oil pressure's still good, temperature's still good. Everything seems to be good. We'll get it back home after we get gas and just look underneath, make sure we don't have any leaks or anything like that. A couple little things to address, but I think this might become our new daily driving runaround truck. We'll pull into Rural Farms here, fill her up. Here's our first fill up, $41. Took 14.74 gallons. It's got that truck's been sitting for quite a while. Smell. Every time you put one back on the road, and drive them for the first time, they kind of got a smell all their own. Everything kind of stinks, and we had this one apart too, so there's always some weird smells here and there. But let's get it back home. We'll check it out, make sure everything's still looking good. So first impressions of driving S10 Xtreme. I know they are a little different. First thing you notice, or first thing I notice after driving a lot of S10s, is the faster ratio steering. Just feels kind of more modern. Most modern vehicles have a faster ratio too. It just, it just feels better. And then the sway bars, it's got larger sway bar up front and a sway bar in the back, which most S10s don't have a sway bar at all in the back. But definitely makes a difference going around corners, and their factory lowered a little bit, which helps also. So I'm a fan. I like it. Let's see if she'll do a burnout. Oh yeah, a little bit. Actually made the second gear shift. Not too bad for a V6. Pulling back in here. Not too bad for a first trip. It made it. Just a couple of small things we're gonna address, but let's jump out and see if she's leaking anything. Don't see anything dripping. Pop the hood here. Sounds good. Nice and smooth. Nothing spraying out anywhere for sure. I think she might be good. Alright guys, I'm gonna call that a success. I can't speak right now, but she does need washed up. We might tackle that yet tonight. But went out, we got fuel, got back, and the only thing I really see it needs is wiper blades, desperately. There's not really much of anything on there. So, other than that, she did really good. Really happy with this one. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, just doing small little things. Even though it's a stock S10 Xtreme, I like it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.